Hello everyone, this is Michael here, and I'm one of the product managers at Syncfusion. And I see through the development of the database controls like chart, maps, gauges, and tree map. And here I'm today to present what's new in our Volume 2, Volume 4, 2019, for our Essential JS2 web platform. And along with that, we'll see our Windows Forms and WPF updates. I'm really excited to share the new features for this release. So without any delay, let's dive into the agenda of the session. I have planned this session to point out the exciting new features in our EJ2, Windows Forms, and WPF, along with a demo on creating a new application, Blazor WebAssembly, to try out our grid control. So let's dive deep. First, I like to point out that our Blazor components are now production ready. It is now moved from preview to its first fully functional release. In this release, we have introduced a new control, and that is the bullet chat control. And bullet chat control is the variation of a bar chart, which displays one or more features and compares it to a target value. You can also display the measures in a qualitative range of performance, such as poor, satisfactory, or good. I'll show you a demo on this now. So this is a bullet chart. As you can see here, bullet chart is a variation of a bar chart, but it actually shows the projected value and target value. The target value is represented by here, and you can have a tooltip for this, and you can see the achieved value here. So it practically gives you an idea of showing a different range representing different colors. Like for example, here the revenue of 150 is lost, 200 to 150 to 200 is moderate, and 250 to 300 is profit. So all these things can be calculated using can be visualized using the bullet chart. So let me show you a few examples here. So this is just estimated story points in planning. We also have the right to left support. So you can change the values dynamically. Instead of rectangle, if you want to show it as a dot, then that is also possible. You can change the color bar. So likewise, also have these features for the range and label setting. So here you can see I can provide any color uh, to the range bar. Then you can also set the same color to the labels as well. And if you want to set the labels to the opposed position, then that is available. We can also set tooltip template. So this is a templated tooltip. And you can also set the orientation as vertical. So this is the new bullet chart, and this is an early preview as of now. So let's move on to the next one. The next set of features that I like to talk about is on the chart, and it has some enhancements this release, like background images. You can set background images. There is support for smart access labels in Polar and Radar charts. You can also set access label trim in Polar and chat. Um, you also can collapse the trend line using the legend. Earlier, we had only legend support for trend line. You can collapse the trend line by clicking on the legend. I'll show you a demo on this. So this is the trend line feature that I was talking about. Now you have support for collapsing the trend line by clicking the legend. So this support is for all the trend lines that are available. So as I said, in the Polar Radar series, we have provided support for data label, and we also provided support for so here is background for the chat. So as you can see here, we have provided a background image for the chat, and also we have provided a tooltip template support here. So you can see that we can provide any here. So this is for the charts. Next set of enhancements I like to talk about are from the spreadsheet, and it has new support for filtering. You can do undo, redo actions in spreadsheet, and you can add hyperlink, and you have new features called collaborative editing. Let's see a demo on this. So there you, so there you go. So if I want to add a hyperlink, then click on insert, click link. You can now so you can now add hyperlinks to the spreadsheet. You also have the filtering support. So you can click on the filter, and you have all the Excel filtering available here. The next set of enhancements I like to talk about are from the Gantt heat map and pivot table and grid. Now we have support for drag and drop the Gantt chart rows, and in heat map you have option to add in title, and in pivot table you have option to add condition expression for creating calculated field to form your own formulas. And in grid, you have support for virtualization for frozen rows and columns. Already have support for frozen rows and columns. Now we also have support for row virtualization and column virtualization while scrolling huge amount of content, huge amount of data. So let me show you a demo on this. So here is a heat map. Now you can see that in heat map we have provided support for legend. So you can name the legend with a title. Here is the Gantt chart. So in the chart, you can drag and drop the rows anywhere you require. So likewise, it will automatically change here. So these things automatically change here. So here is a pivot table. In the pivot table, now we have support for calculated field. We can now have our own formulas that we can provide. So click on the calculated field. So I'm adding a new field here called stock, and I have to multiply the stock 2 times here. So I'm just going to drag and drop here, and I'm just going to multiply it by 2. So I'm just clicking OK. This is a remote application, so all these data are entered into the remote server and it is retrieved. So as you can see, all these we now have a stock which is multiplied by 2. So this is one feature with the pivot table. So the other set of features I like to talk about is from the tree grid, which now supports autofill whenever you type. And the scheduler has a support for minimum and maximum dates. The rich text editor improvements on code formats. So if you have any code format, then we have covered it all. It even now supports XHTML version. So let's see a demo on this. So here is the rich text editor, and this is the code that I was talking about. As you can see, in the rich text editor, we have support for any HTML code or XHTML code that is available here. The next set of features are from the maps. Now map supports zoom in markers. So earlier, when you want to start from a particular zoom position, it was not possible. Now, based on the marker position, you can zoom the map while it is loading. And we have also support for binding colors and shapes to markers. And in PDF Viewer, we have provided support for handwritten signature. Let's see a demo on this. So this is the mirror, and we have now provided support for marker shape, which is loaded from the data source, and even the other is also loaded from the data source. This is a new feature that we have added, and so while starting itself, it will automatically fit if you want. And here is the cluster. So it shows there are 7 markers around that particular area. So when I click on that, you can see the actual value of those 7 markers. So the next is from the PDF viewer. PDF viewer now supports handwritten signature as annotation. So you can click on edit annotation and you can click draw signature here, and you can draw your signature here and click create. So it is added here. You can change the size of the signature and you can add it any in the PDF that you have. So this is one cool feature that we have introduced with PDF Viewer. So these are the major features that we have supported for that we have implemented for our EJ2. So now let's see what's new for our Windows Forms and WPF platform. For our Windows Forms, in our PDF Viewer, we have provided extract lines for PDF file, and you can also extract words from a PDF file. So all these things are now possible with PDF Viewer. And data grid, we have enhancements like positioning the newly added row for a data label collection. So this feature allows you to position a row at the beginning or end of a data grid when a new row is added using built-in add new option. So likewise, it also has an option for Excel like UI filter. In the word library, we have provided support for mathematical equations, as you can see here. And we have also provided audit table content. So it will automatically fit the content that you have provided. In the multi-column tree view, we have enhanced the performance of it. Now the PDF library has PDF-A conformance, and it supports PDF-A 1A, 2A, 3A, and 2U and 3U. So we have provided ZergFit 2.0 PDF document, which was earlier provided for WPF and all these things. Now we have provided for Windows Forms as well. So in Ribbon, we have save and load ribbon for QAT and tab modules. For Excel library, we have macro support. Now you can have macros to add any forms to it. We have conditional formatting enhancements like format only for top or bottom. So this thing not available before. So these are the things that are available for our Windows Forms platform. So for our WPF platform, for WPF, we similarly have the PDF viewer extracted lines and for data grid, you can see we can now have calculated summary for records. You can see the demo here. Whenever you select, you can see automatically the summary of the records here. Also, you have display column summary as title, as shown here. So you have multi-column drop-down control with multiple row selection. You can see that now you can select multiple rows in the row. We have introduced a new text input layout. This is a new control. Let me show you a demo on that. So this is the text input layout. As you can see here, you can add any text here, but each of these text boxes are customized using the text input layout. So you can customize it for a phone number. You can have all these hints in the float mode or always float. Or if you want a container type as outline, filled, or you can choose as none. So this is a new text input layout that we have, uh, provided as a preview version. So we have provided autocomplete for text box extension. So now it has performance improvement. So, it loads many records in just a matter of seconds. You have a range slider. In this range slider, we have given support drag particular selected range. So that particular selected range can be dragged. Earlier, you can either drag the start or end. Now you can drag the entire selected range. We have now provided support for stacked line, 100% stacked line chart. So this is one cool chart that we have provided. And we have a chromeless window. And for that, we have added controls to the title bar. So you can now add any controls to the title bar as like here, search. This is provided in the chromeless window. So the image editor is still in preview for WPF, and now we have provided support for freehand drawing. Let me show you demo on. So now we have support for freehand drawing. You can change the stroke width. You can change the stroke color. So this is a cool feature with undo, redos, and all these things are available. So these are the features for our WPF and Windows Forms and for our EJ2 as well. So in this release, what we have concentrated on is particularly on the Blazor. And for Blazor, what we have done is we have moved our Blazor component from preview to its final version. And now our Blazor component is completely pure native. So whatever concerns you had before is now addressed, and you can write your entire code in C Sharp. Of course, if you want to do any client side of things, then you have to use JavaScript. But other than that, all these code can be done in C Sharp. So let me get started with the data grid eraser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a data grid Blazor application, Blazor WebAssembly application, and I'm going to add Syncfusion data grid to it. So the prerequisites that are required to create this application is .NET Core point 1 SDK, and I'm going to use the Visual Studio Code here. And we also have a template for creating, we have this extension Syncfusion Blazor template so that you can install it in the Visual Studio and you can start doing your own, building your own application. So let me start with that. So Visual Studio Code. So in the extensions, go and type um, Syncfusion. So here it is, Syncfusion extension. So I have already installed it. If you haven't installed it, click install and it will be installed in few minutes. Then once it is installed, all you have to do is you have to go to command palette, create Syncfusion Blazor application, and choose your repository, and then choose your name, and then choose which I'm choosing .NET Core 3.1, and I'm going to use Blazor WebAssembly application. You can also choose different themes that are available. I'm going to choose material here. So the extension does the heavy lifting for you and it adds everything you require to jumpstart your application. It adds all the Syncfusion reference you need to start your application. So let me go to this. So as you can see here, the project is ready. So to get started, all you do is those who are not aware of this, you can go to help.syncfusion.com and choose Blazor documentation. So here you can see the getting started for WebAssembly ASP.NET course using the CLI, which I have done. So I have already installed the Blazor template. So once it is done, all I have to do is I have to create all these things. So since I am using the Visual Studio Code, it is required. So using the Visual Studio Code extensions, you can see how to download and in here. You can see how to create a project. If you have a previous project, you can convert it. So all these things are available here. So since I'm going to use a data grid, let me move on to the grid and get started. So with the pre-built data, you can with the you can see we have the setup already installed here. So you can see all the Syncfusion and all these things already installed here. You can see Syncfusion easy to base has been installed here. So let me just run and show you what is the current output, and let me show how to create a grid. So to start the grid, you have to refer these scripts, but these scripts are now automatically added because we have used the extension. So it is just being deployed. So there you go. The default application has been launched. In the default application from the extension, we have added three controls: the grid, the calendar. So here it is. As you can see here, we have added the calendar control here, and this is just this is our button control, and here we have added our grid control. So the basic simple grid that we have added here. So let me delete this grid and add a new grid to show how easy it is to customize the grid using our Syncfusion data grid. So let me show you here. So go to the pages. So in the fetch data.razor, we have already added EJS grid. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete all these things. So I'm just going to delete all these things and I'm going to create a new grid. So to create a new grid, you can just follow the steps that are available. So I'm just going to add EJS data source, and here is a code. I'm just copy pasting this. So there you go. Now you can see that I have just created an EJ with data source property. And this is data sources of type list orders. And I have just popped the orders using the C sharp here, C sharp code written here. So I have a class order and I have the properties string, daytime, and double with order ID, customer ID, order date, and flight. So this has been added here. So let me stop and let me run this again. So basically, if you want to add a column, then you have to define a column like grid columns. So in the columns, you can give the field value, which is the order ID here, and you can provide the header text that need to be displayed like ID, or if you want to change the name, you can change it here. You have the property called text align to add text align right and left. So these things are available here. And if you want to enable paging feature, then you have to set allow paging property to true. This is the allow paging property that has been set to true. And if you want to say how many pages that needs to be displayed, then you can provide the page size as well. So now what it shows is this is the basic data grid that I have rendered. So there you go. This is the basic data grid that I have rendered, and it has, you can see it has so many data here. So as I said, if you want to allow paging here, then that can be done. Now let us see how we can do that. So in this, you can provide allow paging to true. And before do it, let me define the columns. So as I said, I have just added the header tag for all the columns and I have provided what are the fields should be matched with what are the columns. Then as I said, if you want to have page size, then you can set it as grid page settings. And you can set the size for it. So here you can set the page size as 5. So when you set it as 5, it will show only 5 rows per page. Let me restart this. So similarly, you can provide grid sorting feature using allow sorting property to true. Likewise, you can also provide enable filtering using allow filtering property to true. You can also have grouping property using allow grouping property to true. So as you can see here, this is completely purely written in native and in C sharp, and it doesn't involve any JavaScript code here. So basically, it takes care. It is a pure native application. And from this release onwards, you have to have proper licensing for using the Blazor, or else you will get a preview message showing that this particular component is using a trial version. So if you want to remove that, you have to use proper licensing code. So this is the notification that is shown as it is a trial version. So here is the grid. You can see that we have provided paging option here. And since I have chosen page size as 5, it is showing 5 rows for the grid. So so that's all from my side, guys. I hope you understood how Data Grid Blazor is working and how easy it is to create using our extension for Visual Studio Code.